mom is French Canadian.
Oh, she is?
Yep, she is. She's
I didn't
French
know
Canadian,
that. All right.
born and raised in River Canard. And my dad emigrated from the Philippines in 1978.
Okay.
So they got together, and here we are. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about growing up. And you grew up in, what, South Windsor?
Just in downtown Windsor.
Downtown,
Yeah,
okay.
downtown Windsor, and then we moved out to South Walkerville. And yeah, we born and raised here in Windsor. I went to St. Clair and St. Chris and all the different grade schools. And it was a lot of moving. We moved quite a bit, but we stayed here in Windsor. My parents moved out of the downtown core into South Walkerville. They've been,
Walkerville.
yeah, in the Remington Park area.
Yeah.
They've been there ever since, and yeah, so born and bred. So
talk about the family, because we always hear about the Munchkins.
Yes.
And everyone you got to take care of. They're not Munchkins anymore. But tell us a little bit about your family.
the siblings, I've got Adam. Adam is 32. He is an individual with autism. Him and I grew up together, and I always say on the air, you know, we don't talk about him a lot, but autism in the 80s was certainly not as prevalent as it is now in 2016.
Sure.
Love him. He's doing great. Community Living Windsor does a great job with him, so bless your heart and everybody involved with that. And then my two sisters. Marissa's 19 at the University of Windsor, and Vanessa's 16 at Assumption.
Wow.
Yeah.
We followed their journey because you were taking them out to movies and you had a game days
Yeah.
and you were sharing everything.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I'm still their older brother, but I feel like I'm the third parent. And to me, I have a hard time, John, still wrapping my head around that they're teenagers. You know, I still see them as my little peanuts, but you know, but they're becoming their own young ladies.
Well, radio's really changed. I mean, from the days of conversational radio and just news and things like this, I think everyone at AM800, for those that don't know, you hear Arms in the morning on the street, doing his things in the Arms Mobile, traveling around and everything. So tell us about that job and how you fit into that role on AM800 CKLW.
Oh, that's an interesting job, because that's sort of the jack of all trades, right? So we'll talk about community events for the duration of the show, but if anything breaks, if there's a fire, an accident, you switch gears and then you become Arms Bumanlag for AM800 News, and that's where things sort of develop as you go. So there's a fire, there's a shooting, heaven forbid, anything, big news, that's where I put that hat on, and that's the kind of stuff that, you know, we have that immediacy with radio.
Yeah.
So it's like, Arms is live, let's go to him, and I kind of paint the picture. And then we continue with the story as, you know, the news reporters get in at 9 o'clock, we pass the ball over to them and they roll it.
Yeah.
So
your communication in the morning, so tell us about the morning. So how would your day roll with just the AM800 part of it?
Most mornings I'm up by 5. I'm having breakfast, good to go. I'm at the station just before 6. I'm in my car by about 6:05. And then we start doing traffic reports at 6:08, and we do those every half hour, and then I check in 10 minutes after that, some sort of community event, if there's anything breaking, and I'm driving around checking out traffic.
You literally are, though.
Yeah,
You're not
literally.
sitting in a parking lot having your coffee,
No.
McDonald's.
I'll have a coffee. I'll be the first to.
You're not. So this is all legit. You
Yeah.
are literally driving around.
Driving
so
around.
when you say I'm in Bell River right now, or I'm looking at the beautiful sunset at the river,
Yes.
or sunrise at the river, you are literally at the river.
I am, yeah.
Tell us about the Arms Mobile. Are you physically
Oh,
in?
yes. It's a Ford Escape, and
Okay.
it's the truck that I generally take unless it's in for maintenance, and I love it. I don't know why. I've been driving it for years, and it's just, I've got a vibe with it, and it's got this really neat system where I can, you know, back then in 2007 it was state of the art. It's got the Bluetooth, and like, oh, this is kind of neat.
Good.
So now I can see who's calling on the touch screen, and I just punch through, so I can really cut down my pull over and talk. I'm just, you know, driving hands-free and talking,
okay.
and be able to switch over. So I like it. It's a good ride.
It's always fun to hear your windshield washer, the windshield wiper.
I know.
On certain days, they say obviously you're driving or keeping an eye on something. So let's talk about the decision to go work for CKLW. How did that happen?
I actually started with 89X, our sister station. That was my first internship. I was working in the States, interning, giving out stickers in 2003 when I was still in school. And I was voicing some commercials for my school, Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts. Al McKinnon, who's an awesome producer, still at the station, said to me, they have an opening for a producer on AM800. You should look into it. And I did, and I was working overnights. I'd do 12 till 5, producing Art Bell's Coast to Coast and George Nuri's Coast to Coast, just a satellite feed. And I'd go home, sleep for a couple of hours, drive over to Southfield to school, do my schooling, and then come back.
on.
Yeah, so I got hired literally 3 months into my program, so I was like, thank you, because you know, the media business, sometimes you have to move away and then eventually come back to where you want to
So
be.
did you ever meet Specs Howard?
I did.
Because there was,
yes,
there
yes,
is a Specs Howard.
and his son and several of the faculty I still keep in contact with, and they're involved over at Fox 2, and yeah, they're super great people.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so you get this job. Now, I want
Yes.
to tell everybody the story. When I first met Arms from AM800 CKLW, I was down with your your community relations person.
Yes.
I don't know if, I'm trying to think who it was, but you were the gas bandit.
Oh,
Who would your producer, I mean.
that was Will. That was Will and I were the guy. We wore the masks
You
and
wear
we
the
wore the
masks?
cape and the whole thing. Yeah.
And you were, I was meeting with someone about a community event.
Yes.
And it wasn't Holly, it was probably someone before Holly, years ago.
Heidi.
Heidi.
Yes.
Heidi Baden.
Heidi Baden.
That's right.
Yep.
Heidi was there and introduced me to you, and you said her name is, this is Arms Bumanlag. I mean, I remember, I'll never forget the phone. I remember being in the hall, I couldn't get your name right.
Yeah.
I probably tried 3 or 4 times, and I wasn't probably the first, you just laughed. And you were dressed in some monkey suit that, it was a cape.
Cape with the mask and the big GB for Gas Bandit on the
And
chest.
tell us what that promotion was.
Well, we gave away, this is when the gas was just astronomically high, and I guess that's what we're paying nowadays. But in 2005, we were paying, I think, $1.25 at the pump. So we came up with this idea to surprise some of our listeners. So by going to the pumps and paying for their gas, so I said, let's take it a step further and let's really amp up this superhero thing. And there were some mixed reactions with it. I mean, all positive, but people scared, like, what the heck is going on kind of thing. There's a guy in a mask here. Can I pay for your gas
right.
kind of thing? But that was a lot of fun.
And you literally would give them money.
Oh, boom, it's on
There
me. You know,
Wow.
take a picture for CKLW's website and away we go. So
that's not too far off of what your true likes are. You're a big comic and superhero fan.
Oh gosh, yes.
So here's the question. Are you Batman, Team Batman, or Team Superman?
That is such a loaded question, John. They both have such great stories.
But we've seen
and
pictures of you dressed as Batman. So
Batman
I would
will
tend
always be my first love. Always be my first love is Batman, and the whole story of Bruce Wayne. I love him, but I honestly, I like them all. I've actually grown to like the Marvel characters in recent years too, but they all have something that they bring to the table.
It's
So
kind of a superhero today, folks. This is, we have, you know, Batman on this side, and I'm the Incredible Bulk. But anyways,
just
all
don't
right.
rage. Don't rage.